Hey guys, Mary Meet, and welcome to another chakra video. And this is a chakra I'm really excited about. This is a chakra that we're all kind of excited about. Like, if you're watching this video, there's a really good chance that you are interested in seeing beyond the mundane world. You may be interested in psychic powers, you may be pagan, you may be interested in just knowing that there's a deeper level behind the things that we see and do and that sort of thing. And this one, it really speaks to that. This is the third eye chakra. And the name of the third eye chakra is Ajna, A-J-N-A, and I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, but it means to perceive or to command, right? Now, the color on this, it switches depending on who you talk to. Some people see it as indigo, which is kind of like a dark purpley blue. Some people see it as like a dark blue. Some people, myself included, see it as purple. Again, everything just kind of parts ways at the throat chakra, and then everyone kind of has their own different way of seeing things. I see it as purple. So, like, if you ever want to know, like, how I see a chakra, look to the bag, because I bought the bags. The colors on these candles just didn't really agree with me. The sound for the third eye chakra is Om, and we've heard that everywhere. That is, you associate it with meditation, with deep spirituality, knowing, looking inward, that sort of thing. The element associated with the chakra is light. The verb is I see. And the function is seeing, but also like intuition, your psychic senses. So anything that allows you to perceive on that deeper level, clairaudience, clairvoyance, intuition, anything along those lines. And here we've got this candle, and again, they've chosen dark blue. I would not have chosen that color, or whatever. It's cool. It all kind of feeds the same energy. And it says, located between the brows, its function is insight and clear perspective. So, we definitely, in today's world, want to have this chakra activated, if at all possible, because, we're living in this world where everything that's happening on a mundane level is a little scary. So, we have to look a little bit deeper to find the spirituality behind everything, to find our connections, to find what's really important in life, and not just be bogged down by the details. So for the stones, and this was so exciting for me because there were so many good stones for the third eye. There were a couple that I had trouble with, like the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, but man, there are a lot of third eye stones, and they're all in like colors that I love. These are my colors. These and also greens. This is just very soothing and very peaceful and lovely, and I just want to kind of dive in and live with all these stones. So first we've got sapphire. And this is a neat chunk of sapphire. I have sapphires, and I really could have used my own, but this one was just so cool, I kind of had to grab it. It's just so neat. It's like pitted, but it's got that blue, and it's got the heaviness. Like corundum, like sapphires and rubies, will be like very heavy, and it has that heaviness, that almost metallic heaviness. But I just love this piece. I really responded to it. And sapphire is the wisdom stone. It releases mental tension. And this is good for the seeker of spiritual truth because it lets you access information for your growth. So that's all very third eye stuff. Releasing mental tension, that is good for meditation. And the third eye is very much invoked in meditation. So we want to let all that go. We want to, meditate, seek that spiritual truth, and access that information. So, sapphire, good one. Then we have celestite. And I love celestite. You can see it's very soft, though. It's taken a couple hits just in transport with the other stones. It's a very soft stone, but there's something about that color. It's not like blue topaz or aquamarine. Celestite has its own almost violet kind of blue, and there's just something about that color that is just so beautiful and serene. Now, celestite is for spiritual development, enlightenment, but it's also good for clairvoyance, for dreams, for journeying, and it calms and sharpens the mind. So again, there's, you know, you want your mind to be calm, but also sharp for meditation. And dreams are also like a good part of the third eye. I do a lot of dream work, or I have done a lot of dream work in the past. And so this is definitely a stone that I like to have around if possible. I need more. I don't really have a lot, but I would like one of those nice crystal pieces, you know, one of the nice geode chunks. So Celestite is beautiful. Then we have Lepidolite, and I thought this was a really interesting piece because you can see it's Lepidolite. It's very clearly Lepidolite. It has the kind of mica form, but it's in some sort of a silica. So it's like the Lepidolite was formed and then silica just kind of came and filled in all the spots, because Lepidolite is usually very flaky. It can be kind of brittle because it is a mica. But with this one, it was filled in by the silica, and so it's a really nice solid piece, and I kind of love it. So Lepidolite clears blockages. It helps you achieve cosmic awareness, okay? It's very good for shamanic or spiritual journeying, for accessing like a shamanic record, for accessing thoughts and feelings from other lives, and also it's really good for sleep disturbances. So again, we have that theme of journeying, which is very much, well, it's kind of third eye and kind of crown, really. It depends on what you're trying to access in your journeying. But yeah, I just love Lepidolite. It's a very calming, soothing stone too, and it's really good for emotional disturbances. So again, that is great for taking emotion out of it and just sinking into your third eye, clearing out all the other gunk, and just letting your visions happen. So now this is one of my favorite stones, and I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about it before. This piece has some flash. Where is it? It's kind of hard to find, but I liked it because it was, I don't know, it doesn't have like the colored flash so much as just the kind of metallic flash that feldspar tends to have. But anyways, this is Labradorite, and it's, witches love Labradorite. I don't really know a single witch who doesn't kind of have a special fondness for Labradorite. For the longest time, for 15 years maybe, I had a piece of Labradorite always touching my skin because it helps me through change. Well, anyways, I'm getting into my own personal associations. Let me just read what I have here for the third eye. It is very mystical. It is the bringer of light, and you know, when you see those flashes, you can believe it. It raises your consciousness. It brings you esoteric knowledge and spiritual purpose. This helps you develop your intuition and your psychic gifts. And it brings forward messages from the unconscious. Okay, so, you know, tapping into your unconscious is also a very third eye ability. It calms down your overactive mind, and it stimulates your imagination. So again, you know, we've talked about where creativity comes from, and it comes from the emotions in the sacral chakra. I feel like it's expressed through the throat chakra. Sometimes it is channeled from above, from the third eye, or even from the crown as well. So these all kind of feed into creativity for me. And definitely Labradorite is one that I have on my creativity altar as well as my altar to Hecate, because it's very much about magic and about creativity for me. So now here I've got amethyst, and this is like a really pretty piece of lavender amethyst that I found. And I kind of wanted a clear piece, but when I saw this one, it just felt really right. It was very soothing and very peaceful. And also the shape of it, it's a little bit concave here, and you know, it's just a neat shape. So for amethyst, amethyst is good for meditation. It's great for scrying. If you have a big chunk of amethyst, you can spend time just gazing at it and scrying. It's really good for that. It is good for just spirituality in general. But it's really about reaching higher states of consciousness. So again, it brings in that meditation, and also for mental calmness and clarity. So again, perfect for meditation. Perfect for kind of setting the stage for having the visions that you want to have, or connecting psychically in the way that you want to connect. So again, I don't know if you can really tell just how pretty that color is, but it's just so soothing. So now this one is Iolite, and this has always been one of my favorite stones. Again, I love anything in the blue, lavender, purple, green colorway, but Iolite, there's just something about it. It's so deep and the color is just striking. Now, Iolite is the vision stone. It, again, activates your third eye. It facilitates visualization and intuition. It brings out your inner knowing. And it's, again, great for journeying out of the body. So, you know, that's kind of a theme we're seeing. It energizes and aligns your auric field. And it also clears thought forms, okay? So anytime we have a thought, like, say, I will always be poor, and I need to do some clearing after I say things like that. You know, a thought, that creates a thought form, and that becomes a thing, okay? So any negative self-talk, any negativity that others have brought to us, anything like that that has created a thought form, that has kind of become its own physical thing that we have to, like, contend with, this will help clear that. Such a good stone to have around for that. You know, we don't really realize how much negativity we surround ourselves with every day. And those thought forms, man, they're real. Same, you know, as with, like, energy ties that we have between people. You know, people that you have had relationships with, had sex with, that sort of thing. That energetic link is also a thought form. You know, also it has to do with emotions. So anyways, this clears that. So this is really good. It kind of clears us so we can be fresh, start new, and find our own truth. You know, seek our own truth. So now this, I have never worked with this stone before. And I regret it. Now this is expensive. But just to tell you how much, like, I fell in love with this stone, I also bought 2 more. So that I could have 2, I could have one in my bag, but also 2 that I could just play with and just meditate with and just hold. They're so beautiful. Now this is Shiitakite, as you know, can probably see from my, you know, lousy writing. This stimulates the third eye, and it brings it into harmony with the throat chakra. And, you know, you've got a lot of green and blue here, so that makes sense. So what this is about, it clears your psychic vision. It aids in communicating that vision as well. So it brings that third eye vision to your throat so that you can express it. This removes blocks to your psychic vision. And it clears past life stuff. Okay, it clears curses. It clears any kind of, like, karmic issues from your past life. It protects you during channeling from possession. So that's pretty, you know, that's pretty cool. I'm not a channel. That is not one of my skills, but if you are, maybe get some Shiitakite. This also helps you develop abilities like automatic writing and telepathy. So it's really good for kind of training your psychic abilities. So again, I have 2. I'm going to be dropping the stone first, but I'm going to be playing with this so much. And again, it was expensive, but I want to see if I can find, like, a big piece. I don't know if you can see just how gorgeous that blue and green is. But yeah, so Shiitakite. So those are my stones. I was so excited about this batch of stones. Like, I can't even tell you. These are my colors. They make me happy. So now for the oil, this is kind of like a lesson in following your intuition. And that is a very third eye chakra type thing. There was this one oil that was described as a throat chakra oil. And I kept smelling it, and I felt it in my third eye. I did not feel it in my throat. And that is rosemary. So I'm following my intuition here. We're going to add rosemary to our oil. We're not going to do a lot because this is very strong. And a lot of the throat chakra oils, like the eucalyptus, were very strong. You know, they were kind of medicinal almost. We're just going to use the tiniest little bit of this, but I really felt it kind of activate my third eye, and so I went to use this. So when I say a little bit, I mean like 5 drops of this. So now rosemary, it does also stimulate focus. It helps you achieve alertness, and it's really good for memory retention. So it is really good for anything kind of mental, cerebral. And I feel like it works for the third eye. That focus is great for meditation. So 1, 2, And I'm just going to leave that open because I feel like I'm going to go back and tweak these. Yeah, it's so potent. So I really don't want to overdo it with that. Now this next one, we all have this. Like, I hope we all have this. You got to have some lavender oil around. If you don't, you are missing out. It's good for everything health-wise. It's good for calming. It's good for your nerves. It's good for sleeping. Just get yourself some lavender. You need it. But again, it's good for calming, relaxing. Great for meditation. It opens your intuition. This is really good for prophetic dreaming, and that's kind of awesome. It's good for clairvoyance and for meditation. So if you've got like an oil diffuser in your room, which I wish we had, and it's something we're kind of going to work on, then this is great just to have while you're sleeping, and hopefully it'll bring you prophetic dreams, which is amazing. So I'm going to add a fair amount of lavender. I should be writing this down. Where is my pen? There we go. So we did 5 rosemary. I think I'm going to do 13 drops of lavender. So, alrighty. I overshot that. This lavender is like really, I know it's kind of pouring out, but I love lavender, so who cares? So, okay. Now this last oil, this is one that I don't use that often. I have this enormous, huge bottle of it, and I don't use it that often. I need to like pack some up and take it to Amanda and Arya. This is clary sage, and it's also known as clear eye. Okay, so it's also known as bright eye. So it calms your nerves, calms your emotions, and it's also a sedative. So I think you're kind of noticing that this oil is very sedative, very good for sleeping. It's also going to be really good for meditation. Just hopefully it won't take you over into sleep. I kind of have that problem sometimes where I try to meditate and end up asleep. Hopefully this isn't going to do that, but it does take you to that calm, quiet place that you need for sleep and that you also need for meditation. So, let's see if I can get this top off. It's always, oh no, that was easy. Oh yeah. Now this one's not very strong. So I'm going to add, I'm going to do 19 drops of the clary sage, and we're going to see how it smells. It doesn't have like a really super distinctive smell of its own, to be honest. So it's kind of just going to be a backup for that lavender and that hint of rosemary. So we said 19, so. Alrighty. Let's give that a shake and see how that goes. See how we feel about it right now. You know, if anything, it may be that we need just a touch more rosemary, but I don't think so, Again, that clary sage is kind of like just background. It's kind of a base note, if anything, so. Alrighty. Oh, that's nice. Actually, the clary sage really comes through more than I thought it would. And there's the lavender, just a touch of rosemary. I feel like if I add more lavender, it's just going to be completely lavender. It needs something, but I can't tell if it needs more. We're going to do 2 drops of rosemary, just to kind of spice it up a little bit. And the rosemary is going to kind of bring a stimulating property to this that's kind of work with, but also against a little bit, that kind of sedative, soporific property. So hopefully this won't just completely just put us to sleep. We'll see. But yeah, I was actually getting the clary sage out of that, so I'm pleased with that. I do like it when everything kind of shows up, you know, everything brings something to the party, so. Oh yeah, that perked it right up. Yeah, okay. And it's funny because like I smell this and I feel it in my third eye. Like a lot of these oils, like I can kind of meditate on the chakra that it's supposed to touch, and I can feel it if I try. This is just like boom, hello, like third eye. Like I can just feel it in the center of my forehead. So yeah, okay, cool. So 7 drops of rosemary, 13 drops of lavender, and 19 drops of clary sage makes this third eye oil. So yeah, so that's it. Let me know if you've worked with the third eye. I think, you know, a lot of us have experimented with, you know, developing our psychic powers, you know, things like clairsentience of any sort, automatic writing, you know, traveling, journeying, really just kind of even going within and meditating. So hopefully this is one that kind of resonates for you, and this video will help you find some things that will help to aid you in that work. So that's it. Hope you guys are having a great day, and blessed be. Bye-bye.